In order to learn effectively, you need to have focused study sessions. In this video, I'll teach you how to focus. Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is To Above. And if you're somebody who's trying to level up in life, whether it be in school or general health, well then, you're in the right place. I heard a phrase recently. Well, not recently, more I have heard it, just that recently where it clicked with me, where it resonated with me. It's a phrase that we all know. Work hard, then play hard. You've definitely at least heard it once in your life. If not, then I don't know what I'm gonna do, but if not, I'm sorry. Yeah, work hard and play hard. That's also how it's supposed to go for focus. Thing about focus is it's a limited resource. Concentration, it's limited to what your brain can do. We're only like flesh and bone, so we're not machines, like AI that can run the 24/7 constantly, no rest, no breaks. We need those breaks, and depending on the quality of the break, you're able to do longer study sessions, be able to do more focus. Okay, you got it. Get that relationship right. When you have a nice rest session, you're able to have nice focused sessions. Well, the inverse of that is also true. When you study hard, you're also meant to play hard. You're also meant to rest like a lion. Like I could use the analogy of a lion. Think about a lion when it goes hunting. It lounges the entire day, as in it saves its energy. By the way, I'm not discriminating against any lions. If there are any lions in watching this video, I am sorry if I'm disrespecting culture. I'm arrogant to lions. You know, I identify as a zebra. Anyways, it's a joke. So a lion lounges the entire day. Then they see, whoa, there goes a deer. It runs as fast as it possibly can, puts in maximum effort, maximum focus just to catching that deer. Once it catches that deer, as in goal completed, hit the goal, what does the lion do after that? Now it sits back, eats the deer, then it just chillaxes for the rest of the day. Like, yeah, that's good, I hunted, so now I can just hang back, That's how studying should actually be, how studying should work. When you focus, and you focus intensely, you're fatiguing your brain like crazy. You guys don't even notice, but when you have a deep study session, as in when you're actually like 100% into books and you push with everything you have, once you're done, your brain is completely pooped. Completely, it cannot fathom doing more work beyond that, because it's like, man, no, I can't. It's a flat tire. What you got to do is fill it with air again. So rest like a lion. Post studying, rest like a lion. Don't worry what people might say of you. Hey, this guy's lazy. Look at him just sitting there whilst we study. And I'll actually explain it in my the next section of the video. Next section of the video, why people might view you as lazy. Meanwhile, you do more work than them. I'll explain it later. So, but first, let me get this point out. You studied intensely, meaning that you push your brain to its hypothetical max. So now you just gotta rest. You just gotta. And that rest session is actually also gonna be you being productive, because you're fueling your brain so that it can do another study session. That's why at the first section I already said that it's stuff that's non-negotiable, as in eating and sleeping and all that stuff. Those things are not distractions. They're not. They're necessities for you to do the whole focus study session. Without those things, as in without you sleeping, without you eating, you'll die. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. Without those things, you won't be able to focus. Your brain would have literally used up all its ATP, which then again you would also die. But I'm not trying to sound grim and stuff and saying that, oh no, if you don't rest you die. If you don't rest you do that. But don't take that as a main point of how to buses we're gonna die if you don't sleep. You are going to die if you don't sleep. But I'm not. I'm gonna cut that out. No, I'm contradicting myself way too much. I'm gonna cut that out. Cut that out. Editor, please do your job. But anyways, once you're done having a focused study session, as in you actually thoroughly covered the topic, you did everything you had to do, everything you could, then you have my permission, out to a boss permission, somebody who gets a grades that most students envy. You have my permission to do what I do and rest fully. Okay? Okay, now you don't have to feel guilty whenever you go and take a snack right after study when you just lie there watching Netflix. You don't have to feel bad about it anymore, because all the guilt I just taken off your shoulders. It's also productivity. After you study, when you rest, that's also productivity. So keep that in mind. When you're done working like a lion, then you should rest like a lion. Third step, and a step that not too many students fall victim to, but just students like me who want to maximize everything. In a previous video, I talked about output. Volume multiplied by leverage equals output. The more output you want, you're going to increase the leverage of the volume. With focus, it's kind of not like that. You kind of can't increase the volume. You can't. The reason for this is your brain has a specific timer installed. I don't know. For lack of a better word, I'll use timer for how long it can give power. Yes, I'll use video game analogy. You know, like those light moves, and then you have the heavy move. Light moves will be you just pressing B, which is just like, a punch, jab. Then the heavy move will be you shooting a fireball. You can do those light moves a bunch of times, but they don't do as much damage to the enemy as your heavy move does. Your heavy move takes time to load. When you use the fireball, when you use the fireball, it damages the enemy much more than your light attacks. Yet your light attacks don't have like a cooldown time, or it's not as long as the heavy move's cooldown time. The enemy in this sense would be the paper you're trying to study, the paper you want to get good grades in, and you beating it would be you getting good grades. The paper is the enemy, you beating it would be you getting good grades. If you want to get good grades, you gotta beat the test, meaning you gotta fireball, but you can't spam fireballs. That's the thing, you can't spam fireballs because your brain needs time to rest. And actually, this is not me repeating step number 2. That was just another thing I had to get on my chest, that okay, brain does need rest. Fine. Beyond that, we don't care how to above. My brain doesn't need rest. I can push through 8 hours focused study session. You're actually lying to yourself. That's not 8 hours. Students that say, oh, I study for 8 hours, what they actually mean to say is, oh, I study for 2 hours. The rest of the 6 hours is just me, just being there, just existing. Because the brain cannot be focused for long periods of time. It needs a cooldown before it can use the fireball again. This is why the previous point I told you that people might view you as lazy, because they'll see you lounging whilst they continue studying. But the thing is, you already put in maximum effort for those 3 hours. Already maximum effort studying. Now your brain is quite literally it's out of juice. It can't continue anymore. So of course you're gonna rest like a lion. It's a time. Your brain has a time limit on it. So now you're just gonna rest like a lion. You're gonna chillax on the sofa, watch Netflix. Meanwhile, the other students, they're gonna study for 6 hours and they're not even gonna be focused. They're gonna study flaccidly. They're gonna be, oh, I'm just gonna reread these notes and highlight them and blah blah blah. And even if they do study as intensely as you, they won't be able to go past 3 or 4 hours. Max, you can go 4 hours whilst being focused. Max. If you're a student who can go maybe longer than that, congratulations to you. But for the great majority of students, 4 hours is the max. If you go beyond that, I promise you, you're not getting bang for your buck. You're basically wasting your time on unproductive things. At that point in time, At that point in time, when you're studying but you're not focused, then that becomes more unproductive than if you were just to sit in your room and give your brain time to rest. That sounds kind of crazy. That sounds kind of like controversial, like how to above. I thought that when you study more, you get more results. Not true. Your your heavy move, the fireball, it needs time to cool down. It needs as a charge time, as a break time. Respect that time. Respect that time, and know that focus study sessions. That's your heavy move. That's your heavy hit, and that thing needs time to rest. It needs time to reload. It needs time to I'm using a bunch of synonyms, but I think like the first one you guys already got it, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Your focus study sessions cannot be repeated for like long periods of time. You cannot have 10 hours of focus study session, unfortunately. I wish we could, but we can't. That's why we just gotta settle for max 4 hours. 4 hours. So don't feel bad when you're at like time stop number 3, like 3 hours, and you feel that your brain keeps wandering off somewhere else. That's your brain telling you, hey, I really did my best, but now I'm tired. I went 100% and I can't anymore. And respect that. Know that now the brain now it does need rest. So I'm gonna go rest. I'm gonna go watch 2 seasons of Rick and Morty or whatever your rest is. Then you actually have an excuse to go rest because you did the highest leverage activity. Leverage. If you don't know what leverage is, go watch my previous video on performance. Yeah, you did the highest leverage activity. So now you kind of have an excuse to go and relax, to go and chill. So yeah, keep that in mind. The brain has a time limit on how long it can study. We all have aspirations to become the best versions of ourselves. Focusing is one of the many tools and one of the greatest tools to help us achieve that goal. Follow the steps in this video and get to focusing. Thanks so much for taking a look at the video. If you find the content at all educational, I would appreciate a like, subscribe, and maybe even leave a comment. And remember, it always seems impossible until it's done.